everyone, it's Marisa from BumblebeeApothecary.com, and today I'm back with a requested video. I thought this was a great topic. We're going to be talking about raw milk versus organic milk. If there is a difference, what's the difference, and choosing the best options depending on what you have available to you. So as always, I love getting your guys' video suggestions, so if you have suggestions for things that you want me to talk about or videos that you want me to make, be sure and leave me a comment down below. This is a really great topic that comes up when somebody is just starting to eat, following more of a Nourishing Traditions way of eating, or the Weston A. Price Foundation diet is another, or Wise Traditions diet is another name for the same way of eating. Or if you're getting started with the GAPS diet and you want to look for the highest quality dairy that's available to you where you live. So what's the difference between getting raw milk or finding organic milk in the store? So usually, depending on where you live, but usually raw milk is unpasteurized, and then organic milk in the store is most of the time pasteurized. Quite often it's also homogenized. So pasteurization, when milk is pasteurized, that means that it's heated to a certain temperature and held there, which kills off the living organisms in it. So the idea is to kill off harmful bacteria. It also kills off beneficial bacteria. I have another video where I go into a little bit more detail on raw milk and why I think it's a great option, how it actually is a safe option when it's handled the correct way and the cows are healthy and all that. So I'll link that down below if you want to learn more about raw milk. But today we're just talking about kind of the differences between your different options when you're going out there and shopping for milk. Homogenization, when milk is homogenized, that means that it goes through a process that makes the fat molecules very, very small so that the cream doesn't separate out anymore. When you buy milk that's not been homogenized, the cream naturally rises to the top and then the skim milk is down below. It is oftentimes easier to find non-homogenized milk in the store because there are more regulations and things when it comes to pasteurizing and keeping milk raw and all that. So you might be able to find non-homogenized milk pretty easily. So what's the problem with pasteurizing and homogenizing? So like I kind of mentioned a little bit before, pasteurizing heats everything, it kills off everything, kills the beneficial bacteria, and it kills the enzymes, and it makes it basically harder to digest. And a lot of people cannot tolerate pasteurized dairy, but they do just fine with raw, and that's why, because all those beneficial bacteria that actually keep the dangerous, any, contaminated bacteria in check are gone, and those enzymes are gone that help us digest it. So that's not ideal. And then what's wrong with homogenizing? So homogenizing is an unnatural process that makes those fat molecules way smaller than originally, and it's changing food, and it's changing it into forms that our body doesn't recognize just for convenience sake, just so you don't have to shake up the milk to mix in the cream. So it's unnatural, our body doesn't recognize it, and it's not best. So to answer the main question that was suggested for me to talk about is the difference between raw milk and organic milk is that raw milk has not been pasteurized. Organic milk refers to certification that the farm was able to get based on how the cows were raised without a bunch of toxic pesticides and chemicals and things like that. There are other words that will come up too when you're looking for milk, shopping for milk, like grass-fed, things like that. So what is a good thing to look for? So ideally, you want to find raw milk from grass-fed cows. That's the best. A really great place to find high-quality raw milk in your area is a website called realmilk.com. They've been working really hard over the years to get raw milk more available in more states, and they've been making huge progress with that. So it's legal in a lot of states, and in some states you have to do more of a cow share situation where you pay to take care of the cows and you get milk in exchange for that. So I definitely recommend checking out that resource. Oftentimes you can get together with buying groups if it's a distance away from where you live, and everybody takes turns driving to go get the milk, so you don't have to drive that distance every week or however you work it out. You can go every month month or every 6 weeks, every couple months, depending on how many people are in it. That makes it way more doable. But that's the ideal, is raw milk from grass-fed cows that have been raised organically. Whether or not it's certified is not something I really pay a whole lot of attention to. I prefer to meet the farmer, find out how they're raising their cows, make sure that it is in an organic way, whether or not they really paid for the certification to be called organic or not. But you do want those organic standards. The next thing that you can look for if raw milk is not available to you is organic grass-fed milk that has been low temperature vat pasteurized or small batch pasteurized that's not been homogenized. So that's something that you can oftentimes find in a local health food store if you've exhausted all your options and you just can't find raw milk anywhere. So for example, I'm not always able to get raw cream from the place that we get our raw milk from in the quantity and as often as I want. So I will sometimes get some cream from a local health food store that's been vat, small batch, low temperature pasteurized, not homogenized obviously because it's just the cream separated out, and it's from an organic grass-fed small farm. So I will get that and then I will culture it into kefir cream and then use that to make ice cream and eggnog and things like that. The neat thing about cream is that the fat molecules are not damaged by pasteurization like the protein molecules in milk are. So it's really, once you culture it, you're almost as good as having raw cream again. Milk, on the other hand, it is best to always culture that if you're not able to get raw, because then you're adding life back into it and hopefully making it so that those damaged proteins are not as, problematic in your body. So that's your next step down, is to look for organic, grass-fed, non-homogenized, low temperature or small batch or vat pasteurized milk from a health food store, and then culture that into yogurt or kefir. All right, so hopefully that cleared up any confusion around looking for dairy products and things when you're trying to start eating this way, Nourishing Traditions or GAPS diet. That kind of narrowed it down. Hopefully that kind of cleared up the different options and let you know like your ideal choice to look for or your next best option if you're not able to have access to good raw milk. Like I said, make sure and check out that realmilk.com website where you can learn all about real milk, how safe it actually is, and its best handling practices and what you should look for when looking for a raw milk farm to get milk from. I'll have that video linked down below, as well as my other video where I go into more details about raw milk as well. If you have any questions, be sure and leave me a comment down below. If you did like this video and you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. Share it with anybody else who you think would find it helpful or interesting. And if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I get out 2 new videos every week on nourishing recipes and natural living. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.